Welcome to the Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew and let's get to the show.
Oh, we were at the beach. We were all wearing matching towels. Rock lobster. It's a rock lobster. Ow, I just was about to not introduce myself. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, and I've got Uncle Buck with me. He's back from the beach. You're not nearly as tan as I thought. You look great, sir. How are you?
It takes a long time for me to get tan, and I will get there. My arms aren't, they're golden-ish, but I wouldn't call them dark by any means. But it's just not gonna happen anywhere else for a long time. I don't just walk around with my shirt off, so I don't really understand how people get full body tans without laying in the tanning bed or living at the beach.
I don't either. I don't get it. People that I see that are bronzed, I'm like, listen, that ain't natural. That ain't natural.
Right.
Unless they're
you drank some potion or used some lotion.
Drank some potion or used some lotion. Oh man, I want that on a shirt. Drank some potion or drank some I'm already messed up. Don't drink lotion. I'm already off the rails. You know what? I wanted to have you on today because the NBA draft is over. And you have not gotten to share your thoughts. You've been on vacation. You got to hop on a little bit when Cedric Coward got drafted. So before we get to the second round and what happened last night, I want to hear your thoughts, give you a chance to talk about Cedric Coward.
Yeah, so listen, I'm not a college basketball scout by any means. I watch Ole Miss college basketball and then I watch March Madness. I'm not deep in the weeds. A lot of times that's the end of college football season, and then it turns into the NBA season. I just don't have the bandwidth to do a lot outside of just my team. And so I love Ole Miss. I watch all Ole Miss, and that's it, basically. And I'll keep up with headlines. And so when the Grizzlies traded Desmond Bane and got in return one of their assets being the 16th pick in this year's draft, my first thought was, hey, let's get Chip Williams on. And so and he didn't hammer home Cedric Coward, but he did mention him, and I kind of heard his name floated around a little bit else. But really, the only thing I heard before I started just researching him further was just that he was a good dude and the kind of guy you want to bank on.
Yep. And
so I was like, okay, I'll research him a little further. He'll be one of the guys. And one thing I told Kenny when I on Friday's show, I guess is the last $2 sports show that I was on, I told him, I was like, listen, I want to take a swing. I don't want to take a role player, I want to take a swing at somebody that could be a superstar. I think you could get one of those at 16. And that's the reason why I what I exactly said was I want to take a swing at a superstar, but somehow have a high floor about him, which that seems rare to have a super high ceiling and a high floor. Those guys go number one overall. That's Cooper Flagg.
It's Cooper Flagg.
And so that's why I landed on Cedric Coward, because it just seems like everybody loved him. In mock drafts didn't really show it, but it's every time I clicked on an article about Cedric Coward, the article wouldn't be about Cedric Coward, but I would find Cedric Coward and they would be like, I love him.
Yep.
Every single one of them. I love him. He has a shot. He has a shot. And then you listen to his interviews and it was like, okay, if this guy's got the upside potential and I'm going to gamble on it, him, the person, is the person I want to bet on.
Yes.
He is the kind of guy that I want to attach my wagon to.
100%.
And because I expect whatever he sets his mind to be, he's going to get it. I just believe that about him. So that's why I was all in on Cedric Coward. And so when draft night got here, it was a lot of fun. And it's for the first time since Luka was traded, I was just I guess Desmond Bane as well. I was just trying to find anybody talking about it. I wanted to hear all of it.
Yeah. Man, I love you just described. I'm glad you led with his him as a person, because I was so taken. I like you. I don't want to. I find time. I watch Belmont. I try to watch UT. Otherwise, it's hard to watch that full college basketball season. But
too many teams.
There's a Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4. Like it's a lot. And it was like we had a week to do a crash course. I talked to Chip. Cedric's name came up, and just like you said, everybody liked him. And when he was drafted, when he was interviewed by Monica McNutt, I was blown away just by like, you get a lot of guys get up there. It's the first time they get that microphone in front of them, and they seem they're emotional. They like, yeah, he's going to wear 23. I think they just announced it like right before we hopped on. They're emotional. They're overwhelmed. They don't really know what to do. He got up there. He was like, he wasn't reading. He wasn't prepared, but he was like, I am ready. I know what I am. I know what I can do. And he's 22. He's going to be 23. He's older than a lot of these other kids. But I mean, since we got a first round draft pick, since I started reading these articles, since his name was announced, I have just been really, really like you, really fallen for this kid. This I'm excited. And if we were going to trade up, since we did trade up, this is the only person that I think I would have been happy trading up for, to be honest. But maybe that's not true. Like this was perfect move. This was a perfect move.
Yeah. So let's talk about the move then.
Well, we gave it like
because I could talk about Cedric Coward, the person, forever.
Yes.
Like, I've just heard so many stories since we drafted him on Wednesday night. Like I can just keep reciting everybody else's stories to you guys because I just think he's great.
Yep.
But let's talk about the move then. I was team, make the best move. Obviously, that's stupid to say, but like if making the best move means going up to 11, then do it. If it means dropping back and getting a veteran wing, then do it. I'm totally cool with whatever. Just don't mortgage the farm. And to go up 5 spots to target your guy, and you swap first round picks, so we'll call that a wash. A
first round pick you didn't have a week ago,
right? And then you traded another first round pick you didn't have a week ago in 2 seconds, which I don't know if anybody noticed last night. The second round, like, okay, sometimes they hit, most of the time they don't. Like, I don't care. To go get your guy, and I loved it. And if you listen to David Thorpe, who famously wrote the article saying I would take Cedric Coward number two. He's a trainer. He trains NBA players. He works with agents. He hears a lot. He said that Zach Kleiman would have went as high as he needed to go to get Cedric Coward, but he only needed to go to 11. And that shows just one. I love it when somebody has a conviction about somebody.
Yep.
He hasn't been wrong before when he's had a conviction about somebody, or not often anyways. You move up to go get Desmond Bain. You went up to go get Brandon Clark. You move up to get Roddy. That's bad, but it's never perfect. No. But you've targeted a guy who went on 25 visits. We talk about Ace Bailey being one of the stories of the draft where he didn't talk to a single team, did not work out for a single team. This dude worked out or talked to or both 25 teams.
I don't think I knew that. That's a lot.
I'm telling you, the person of Cedric Coward, he just went out and said, I'll show you. I'm not too good for anybody. Yeah. I love him.
He paid to go to college. He personally paid to go to college. I think that's crazy.
I was talking about it on the post draft selection show, whatever they did. I got my 5 to 7 minutes on there, and I was like, he paid more to go to a D3 college than Rusty and I paid to go to an SEC school.
Yep.
So that he could play basketball, for the opportunity to play basketball. Like, that is wild to me.
Yeah. When I heard that alone, I was like, what? It was like, he did what? What?
Yeah.
It's nuts. And man, I haven't got a chance to talk about him as a person yet, so I'm glad we're doing this a little bit. I saw this morning he had John 3:16 sewn on the inside of his suit. I just think that's classy. I just think that's really classy.
Listen, that spoke to my soul a little bit because, like, I was raised in a Mississippi Baptist family. Like, there's two things that you do is you love the Lord and you give your tithes, okay? And I've never in my life heard a player say, well, first thing I'm going to do is give my tithes. I heard a video to my wife, and she was like, I'm going to buy his jersey.
I was like, a 22-year-old man that knows the word tithes and is using it correctly? I didn't know that.
Every Baptist I know, when the preacher preaches on tithing, they find a reason to go to the bathroom.
Yep, they're like, I didn't have to go.
This dude just going to sign a $20 million contract, and he's like, yeah, I'll give $2 million to the church.
Where's the plate? Like, where's the plate at?
Like, you better get a bigger plate, son.
Oh my God.
I love him. And I loved the move. I love the move to go get him because you had a conviction about somebody. And if I were to put myself in Zach Kleiman's shoes, what happened? I guess it was 3 years ago when you made the Valanciunas trade and you got back the 10th pick. And all the reports were that they wanted Franz Wagner. Or there was one other player that Giddey. They wanted Giddey or Franz, and they just knew that they were going to make it to 10. What happened when it didn't make it to 10? It's like, well, we'll just take a swing at the unproven guy with all the physical assets, which was Zaire Williams, and it crashed and burned. And so you did the opposite this time.
Yep.
You got your draft pick at Desmond Bane. All the mocks say that he should be there. But instead of getting stuck with taking the 16th pick of the draft, ended up being that 7-foot dude from China, Chinese Jokic.
Yang.
You're picking from what's left at 16. It's like, no, getting the 16th pick for the Desmond Bane train isn't good enough. We're going to move up, and we're going to move up wherever we want, wherever we need to guarantee that Cedric Coward is going to be here. And you know what? If Cedric Coward got drafted number 2, we may have traded out of the first round altogether, but I love acting with conviction and feeling your convictions and acting on them. Like, Zach Kleiman, if Cedric Coward turned out to be a bust, he will be able to sleep at night because it's just like, listen, I got my guy. I'm convinced.
Yep.
And last thing for my monologue is over. I love being the story of the draft for once.
Yes.
I love having the feel-good story, man. Like, I feel like the Memphis Grizzlies, everybody sees the negative side of every move that they do. It's like, oh, Desmond Bane is so flawed as a shooting guard until he goes to Orlando, and it's like, oh, wow, they got the best shooter ever. Like, you don't talk about that when you're in Memphis. For the last week, or 2 weeks, it's like Stephen A. talking about crime in Memphis as if he was lived here ever in his life, watches the local news ever, And then that's all you hear about Memphis in the news lately. And then to get that guy, and everybody unanimously was like,
A+,
perfect guy, perfect situation, perfect player. I love it. I love being the story of the draft for a good reason and not what New Orleans or Phoenix was.
Oh, yeah. Geez. God. Yeah. It's like, it's nice to come out of the draft and people be talking about you in a positive light for the first time in quite some time. They're going to sign him. He's going to have a roster spot. Let's start. They drafted 2 other guys last night. Javon Small out of WVU. Yeah. West Virginia or no.
Yep.
Yeah.
West Virginia.
And oh man, I just looked this up. Jemai Meshack. Jemai Meshack.
Come on.
Sorry.
GBO, right?
Go big orange. I'm sorry. Jemai Meshack. Why did I say Jemai?
He's in the Old Testament with Meshach, with Abednego and those fellas.
Meshach and Abednego. I love that story.
Jemai, Meshach, and Abednego.
They thrown in the fire. Javon Small, Jemai Meshack, and Abednego. If anybody hadn't read the Bible, it's a good story. We'll talk about it later. We'll have Bible corners sometime. Javon Small, so from what I've gathered, this it's tough to do a lot of We'll have to do a lot of research on these second round guys. This guy was, I guess, scouted as a first round pick by a lot of people. I think Chip had this guy. Chip Williams had Javon Small as a first round pick. I'm taller. Yeah, he had him. I think he was the last. I hope I'm not making this up. I want to say exactly what Chip said, but yeah, I believe Chip had this guy pretty high. My biggest issue is I'm taller than he is. That always gets me a little nervous.
Yeah. Listen, why you looked that up?
Yeah, 29 on his big board. He had Javon Small 29th on his big board.
Wow.
So
listen, second round pick. There was obviously and Jamon Meshack and Javon Small. What these two have in common are they're just absolute bulldogs.
Yep.
They are. They like to point of attack defending, can't shoot, but they're gonna bite your ankles. Like specifically Meshack, like I looked up his basketball reference last night after we drafted him, and he averaged like 3 shots per game.
Dude, like, but he might be the best defender in the SEC.
But that's what they said unanimously and I can't remember. I think it was Gavoni. I know it was Gavoni.
Yeah, Gavoni.
He said like he's probably the best defender in the draft this year. And you got him as Mr. Irrelevant, the 59th pick of the draft. And he had a type.
Yeah.
Zach Kleiman had a type. He talked after the offseason was over that you need more dogs. We don't need no more cats. We need more dogs. And with a second round pick, these guys are not going to be like immediate impact guys. More likely than not, one of them at least is going to be a two-way guy.
Which I think Chris Harrington announced this morning. I think he said Javon Small, the plan is Javon Small to sign a two-way, Jameer Meshack to play for a roster spot. And I think they said they may stash him.
Okay. Neat. So, it's about building culture. And I like going into a training camp where you just go get a bunch of Rottweilers and it's like, okay, don't shoot the ball. You're going to be all-time defense. All you other people, don't let them steal the ball from you.
Yeah.
Like, we're playing 5-on-7. Javon and Jamai are just going to be our dynamic duo of ball swipers.
We saw what Oklahoma City just did. Ball
right.
swipers.
And we couldn't dribble. We could not dribble. And so I like it. It's a culture draft. Second round picks, I don't expect much out of them. I know Rusty was all of a sudden questioning Zach Kleiman's ability to draft again. 24 hours after drafting Michael Jordan, he drafts Javon Small at 48, and Rusty's like, I don't know if Zach Kleiman got it, mate. And I'm like, but you're not going to get it. Like, once the first round's over, you're not making a trade with your second round picks to go get a veteran wing. Like, you're just going to have to take them or trade back and get cash. Like, so just go get a bulldog. I love it. I love going to get a bulldog. There's no obvious guys in the second round that's like going to help you. We were in the group message, kind of joking with Wayno, like, we're going to go get your Aussie guy.
Yeah.
Like the 7'3" Aussie guy. Like, you just go find somebody that can help in the locker room or go find a guy that can help play defense. Like, you definitely don't want a prima donna in the second round or you end up with Kennedy Chandler.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Sorry, Balls fans, bringing you back down to earth a little bit.
No, yeah, it's like, hey, remember Jermaine? This is this undersized guard is different than that undersized guard. And if Javon Small is on a two-way, man, you have him in these practices just being like, hey, I am going to make your life miserable in practice. I'm sorry. Give me that. Like, that sounds great.
And listen, I know Bob Huggins isn't there anymore. But Javon Small reminded me of Javon Carter. I mean, just what did Javon Carter say? Like treadmill mentality. It's like, I just want people that play in that have that sort of expectation about like what the game is. Yeah. And the game is hard. It is physical and we're ready for it. Like, I love that.
Yeah. It's all one we just saw in the finals. That's the style of basketball that won the championship. So you gotta
you look at OKC and, I know we didn't go for any big men at all. And I'm totally fine with that because you look at what OKC did and they just continue to run wing after wing. And you know what? Next year, when somebody gets hurt, AJ Martin who played most of the season for the Oklahoma City Blue, is going to come in and be amazing. They're so deep that they're stashing people on their G League team. Like, we've got to get to that point. Like, we've got to get to a point with this second apron and basically a hard cap. Like, you've got to be able to stash some guys somewhere, and you've got to have good contracts, and you've got to have guys waiting in the wings because you can't afford superstars anymore. You can't afford 3.
Yep.
And so that's why I love Yeah, they've upped the roster limit. I mean, like, you can have 15 players, including 3, and that includes 3 two-ways.
15 and 3 two-ways.
15 and 3 two-ways.
18
so like
total.
18 folks that you can bring, and you can't have you can't miss very often. You looked at what the Grizzlies were last year, and it was like you were injured, and a lot of people were playing out of position, and it forced like guys like Jake LaRavia, who didn't really need to be starting, but he needed to be your 10th guy. You can't have that gap anymore. The guys you need to bring in have to be Swiss Army knife types of players who, at the very minimum, can keep the ball moving on offense and play really good defense.
Yeah.
So
I
take a
agree.
swing.
Take a swing. And I mean, if you're going to, they took one hell of a swing, man. I'm excited. What would you give the overall in the second round? What would you give the Grizzlies draft? I mean, for me, I'm team A because of the coward. I mean, I just think all these guys are going to be able to.
Oh, you're talking about the whole draft altogether?
Well, let's. What was some? I combined 2 questions. What was your biggest surprise from the second round draft? I guess what stood out, and then what was your overall grade for the Grizzlies? I saw Reginald throw that question in the comments, and I jumped ahead.
Yeah, we'll do that in just a second. Listen, I don't know, man. Like, the second round is building culture, I feel like. And I appreciate that. The team lacked culture last year. And again, I don't really want to like depend on second round rookies to build a culture, but you could bring toughness and hopefully, it permeates through that locker room. And so I like that. So I'll give it a B, but just a solid B. I don't really see a situation where any of them are playing role minutes this year, but I do see a path to where they affect the team in toughness, and down the road, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy with how it went.
Yeah.
The overall,
it's an A+.
Yeah, I knew you.
I get.
I'm with you.
I told Chip when we interviewed him, I said, I want to take a swing at a wing. I said, I want somebody that could potentially be our third best player. That's what I wanted, and that's what we got. I couldn't be happier. I love the conviction that Zach Kleiman felt and the confidence to move up and get him. And like David Thorpe said, he was going as high as he needed to go. And I love that. You went as high as you needed to go, but you didn't overdo it either.
Yes.
Because what Michael Wallace said on one of the shows I listened to yesterday, I think it was Gary Parrish yesterday. Mm-hmm. He said that after the Grizzlies moved up to 11 to select Cedric Coward, 3 team officials came up to him for teams that were picking between 11 and 16 and said, we were taking him.
Whew, yep. That's.
I was like, if that's not. Me and Rusty laugh a lot because we're big fantasy football guys. The fantasy football draft is the best.
Yep.
We do a group in-person draft, and there's no better feeling than when you select a player and the room goes, crack, I wanted him.
He was mine.
There's no better feeling in the world than picking your player and everybody being bummed because they thought, oh, I was going to get him next. Like,
yep. It's a really good feeling. You are absolutely right. And when the pick is this kid, I don't know. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm excited. He seems like he wants to. I don't know. I'm excited.
If you listen, you're going to have to watch it at home alone, probably in your bed. But if you go listen to that David Thorpe interview with Chris Vernon, it was hard not to get lustful thoughts because you're talking about on board. This dude loved Cedric Coward. He said he has the best 3-point shot from a 21-year-old that's not already in the NBA that he's ever seen. I was like, what?
Whoa.
Rewind that. Oh, talk dirty to me, Mr. Thorpe. Like,
Mr. Thorpe, please. Yeah, God, I'm gonna have to. I know what I'm doing after this. We're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we're just gonna see what the weekend's like. We'll be back. Right. We're just gonna take a real quick break. We'll be right back.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code Bluff City for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
I dig it. I dig it. We're back.
Bluff City Media has the best music.
I'm telling you, dude.
Every time the Daily Grind kicks on, I'm over here playing the air guitar.
Yep. And that's like good. I like all of them. Yeah. Shout out, Kenny. Thank you. If our music sucked, which it did once upon a time, now it doesn't. It's just we're good. We're good. Ounceofhope.com. Promo code Bluff City. Check it out. Trilogy Tattoo. I don't think there's a promo code there, but if you want to get Bluff City tattooed on you, I'll give you a high five.
Luke will pay for it.
I can neither confirm nor deny. It's the weekend.
Send me a bill.
Yes, put it on my tab. It's the weekend, and I want to talk to you about the weekend outlook, mainly because you've been on vacation all week. What are you doing this weekend? Draft's over. No basketball. No vacation.
Yeah, I'll probably tell my wife, like, hey, we'll talk about what you want to talk about for a couple of days. Listen, we just got back from the beach, and so it's like the weekend is, I hope, just here at the house. Probably do a little laundry, watch a couple movies. I don't know. I just hope we're at the house. That's my goal of the weekend.
Please. Well, So was the beach good weather?
Perfect weather.
Okay.
Like, when you go to Florida, you're going to end up with a couple, 20-minute rainstorms that's going to come out of nowhere and really try to ruin your day. But you're in Florida, so just power through. It's okay. It'll part of the experience,
Yeah.
But I think this is the first time since Haley and I have been married and had kids that we went to the beach and had green flags on the beach. And the water was perfect. We stayed off the beach a good ways. It took about 30 minutes drive to the beach. We go deep on this trip. Like it's my parents' vacation. It was me and my 2 sisters, our spouses, and our kids. It ended up being 16 of us.
Love it.
And so we got off the water and got a bigger house this time to have plenty of room in a yard and all that kind of stuff. So we had to drive to the beach, but shoot, we got a perfect day at the beach, and then we got a perfect day. We bought like day resort passes.
Yeah.
At this hotel resort on the beach one day. And so it was like $150 for my whole family, and it came with a hotel room.
What?
And I was like, okay. Had a bunch of pools and beach access, so we were able to just go lay the baby down when he got tired, and then actually have to go have fun without chasing a 1-year-old around. Like, It was perfect. It was perfect. The water was perfect. The weather was perfect. It was awesome.
Dude, that sounds amazing. I was not expecting to hear you say green flags. I'm with you. I can't remember the last time where it was just like smooth sailing. Go out there.
I mean, we've been out there a few times where it's like double red flag.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, kids, don't even touch the
Don't
water.
even
You'll
look
get
at it.
sucked out to Davy Jones' locker. You know, like we're not going to be able to. Sorry, we're going to the beach, but nobody's allowed to get wet.
Those are the rules.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's all. Your kids have fun?
Oh yeah, they had a blast. They had
Good.
a blast. We went to go see the Blue Angels too, which was like my treat. Because we drove into Pensacola to the Naval Aviation Museum, and then they had like the Blue Angels.
So cool.
I loved it.
It's
It was like, I mean, we're sitting on asphalt. It was 100 degrees outside, and so like the kids were just like melting, like, oh my god. And me and my dad were like, dude, look at that airplane.
Look
like,
how sick.
Yeah, he's gonna do a flip. Look at him.
Hey, I don't know if there's a more father and son thing than the Blue Angels. I did the same. This like, holy shit, Dad, look at that. It's just so good.
I mean, yeah, you're leaving here and you're playing like your Top Gun. You're playing Kenny Loggins. You're playing Toby Keith. You know, you're throwing some Lee Greenwood as you're pulling into the hotel. You know, it's like you're a patriot after you watch the Blue Angels.
Oh, that got me. That's going to do it for our show today. Blue Angels, if you're listening to us in your cockpit, what are you doing? Yeah, salute you, sir. I did a bad salute. My dad would have whipped the shit out of me for seeing that. We will be back on Monday. Today is Friday. I did a show on Sunday, and so my week's, I don't know what day. I don't know what year it is.
Same. My first day of work this week is a Friday. I don't know what
my God,
look
yeah.
like. Yeah.
We won't be back tomorrow unless you see us live on the YouTubes and we're like, oh, we messed up. So we will not be here tomorrow, but I will be back Monday. We will both, I don't know. We'll see. We'll be back Monday. Have a good weekend, y'all. No basketball, anything. Draft's over. We'll probably see some undrafted free agents sign places.
Maybe a trade. Maybe a trade by Monday.
Get a trade by Monday. That'd be real sick. That's what I want to see happen this weekend. Trade time. Yeah, that'll do it for us today, y'all. $2 Sports Show today, right? Yeah.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Anthony Sane. 2
o'clock.
2 o'clock. And if we can leave you with anything today, these two things, like we always do, remember to be a little weird, just a little bit. And remember, yeah, that's good. Bye, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday.